Hello, Gemini. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Gemini. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. Gemini, as I do this, we are just hours away from the moon being full, the full moon in Scorpio, the flower moon. So this is going to be a moon full of emotion. This is going to be a very emotional time for a lot of people. You are not out of the clear. None of us are. So I'm doing this reading. You'll probably get it very early on the morning of the full moon, and I'm going to take these oracles and I'm going to read them over the overall energy, and then we're going to throw the tarot at it as I usually do. If you're my ride or die, you know how I read already. And so I'm going to read for the week ahead, always for the week ahead, right? Whether you get this today, tomorrow, or next year, could resonate then. We're not all on the same path in the same place. It won't resonate for everybody. Let's find out what is going on for you, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Gemini, if you're brand new, you're cross-watching and you'd like to stay, there is a subscription button down in the bottom right-hand corner of this little crazy square where I live. If you'd like to do that and join us, love to say hello to you in the comments. Find out what's going on with Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And this full moon, what's going on? We've got potential. It does feel like it's a potential for something to get really big, bigger than you. It feels like there's puffs of smoke going on in the background, is the way I like to see this. And I want to say that with all this violet energy here, it almost feels like your third eye is ready to pop open. It's not always, it doesn't just like pull itself open and that's it. It's like little by little by little. I mean, if it was all at the same time, it would be terrifying. But it feels like there is a potential here for something to make itself seen or noticed, because when the volcano is puffing ash, we know that something's gurgling close to the surface, but we don't quite know whether it's going to show itself or not. We do have enlightenment. Oh, interesting that we're talking about that, right? We've got sort of the same kind of energy going on in both of these pictures. This boat is ascending. Look at that. This boat is got its full sail up and it's ready to ascend. This is enlightenment. And somebody here, I feel their third eye is opening. Again, we've got deep purple or violet energy here. So I think that's what we were talking about in the background, that there is going to be a new level of vibration or a new part of your enlightenment. You'll be seeing something a little clearer, feeling something a little clearer. We've got all the colors of all the chakras here. Got, pink and yellow and gold and blue and green and violet purple. It's time for you to be flexible, my friend. Flexible of the mind for sure. We've got flexibility here. You might be feeling a little lonely in these times right now, possibly with the way that, we've got Pluto in retrograde in Aquarius right now. And that's affecting everybody. And it's affecting us on a global scale, not just on a personal scale. And we've also got, lots of things in the background that are going to be showing themselves because we've got a full moon, and full moons are about release, and this particular one is about emotional things coming to the surface. What else does Gemini need to know, please? We've got acceptance. It says, I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. And that's a little bit of a hard one to swallow, right? Again, we've got violet energy. It's like you wake up, your eye opens, and you look around, and you're like, how did I let all that go on for so long? It feels like you're gaining some clarity, and through that clarity, it's opening some of the other chakras. Again, we've got blue, throat chakra, we've got green, heart chakra, we've got pink, crown chakra, right? We've got all of the same colors in all of these cards here. We've got abundance. It says, I'm a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in the physical reality. And I think that first we have to realize that there are some things that we're just never going to change. So we got to stop running into that brick wall, turn around and go the other way, and just accept that there's new abundance coming up in the future, and you will get that through the enlightenment. This here is my surrender deck, so we're going to find out what is probably best for you to surrender. We're using the surrender deck because of the full moon. Full moons are about releases and surrendering things back to the universe. Tell me what's going on for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Surrender to spirit. We've got surrender to non-action. Interesting. So we've got surrender to spirit. It says, once you've done everything you can do to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. The radical acceptance of the present moment, my friend, is what it is. Once you accept the situation for what it is, then you realize that it's going to change whenever it's going to change, and sometimes it will never change. So I feel like you're just supposed to leave it up to spirit to figure it out, that you know that there is a potential for something to show itself. You need to accept that maybe you may never know, you may never see it, possibly, but just to surrender it, accept it, surrender it, that you may never get your answer, and be done with it. It says here, surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. You're the one that's sitting in the enlightenment. Let others come to you. I feel like you're supposed to be focused on the abundance of your enlightenment and just not really doing much at this time. I feel like, it says surrender stubbornness here. It says, if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. This might be part of a little tiny miracle that's coming your way. Let's take a look at the tarot and find out what else is going on. Tell me about Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. In Gemini, their private reads are still open. I am doing live readings if you're interested. There is 75% off, a welcome price, introductory. I'm also still doing readings that are pre-recorded, so if you'd like to book one of those, please look in the link below. You'll look into Hipsy, and Hipsy is where you can see all my pricing. Let's find out what's going on with you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the 10 of Wands. I really do believe that this is a time for you to release whatever is pressuring you. I feel like you will once you get this enlightenment stage on the way. I feel like the acceptance has something to do with the 10 of Wands. Accepting it and surrendering it to spirit is going to allow you to drop whatever you've been carrying, whatever pressure you've been feeling. It could be pressure of the mind. It feels like you've been overthinking things. It does feel like it's time for you to release. This is sort of the surrender to the non-action that we were talking about, right? That maybe it's time for you just to take time for yourself, do your own thing. This person's deep in meditation to get stability of the mind here. Got the 7 of Wands. It is going to, we did talk about the F word, right? The flexibility part of it. I feel like that there is some flexibility that's going to be required if you want to drop the burdens. I feel it's going to require healing, meditation. It's going to require going in very deep. It's also going to require that you loosen your boundaries just a little bit. And it's always good to have the boundaries. I'm not saying to not have the boundaries. I'm saying that maybe when, you're wearing your armor, that of course nothing gets in to hurt you, but nothing gets out, which means you don't really communicate with others either. Tell me more. We've got the moon energy. I feel like you are being asked under this full moon to release whatever deep emotional pressure that you've been under here. It's time for you to finally heal it and release it. We've got the 7 of Cups, and I feel like you will be doing that. The 7 of Cups is telling me that you're about to let the floodgates down. Like, I feel like you are going to be flexible with these boundaries. And I think that the reason that you don't, Gemini, is because you know that when somebody turns on the tap, it's just not turning off. It feels like the 7 of Cups is telling me that you're in this place of emotional overwhelm. And that's why you keep the 7 of Wands up. That's why you keep you keep people out, or you feel like you protect yourself, I feel. Because you know that once you show them the emotional side of you, that it's unlikely to turn off. And we've got the 5 of Wands. So we do have some indecision that's going on here. And I feel like everybody is in that same state of mind right now, a little bit of tug and pull between, emotions and logic, between Pluto being in retrograde in Aquarius and the full moon in Scorpio. It feels like it is... everybody is sort of going through this indecision, tug and pull. I'm not really sure if I want to do it. I don't really want everybody to see all of my emotions all over the place. Tell me about the 4 of Swords. What are you trying to... feels like you're trying to get into this stable place in your mind here. We've got the 2 of Cups. Some of you might be thinking about emotional connections that you have here. We've got the Two of Pentacles. We've got a lot of decision making coming up. Emotional decisions, very grounded and solid decisions at a very busy time in your life. I feel like it's almost like the Two of Pentacles telling me is that you have a very busy mind. Like it's hard for you to just sit there and meditate. It really is a very busy time for you. And I think that, for an air sign, I mean, it's the life of an air sign. You guys are constantly thinking, always thinking and overthinking. We have the Four of Wands here. It does feel like what you are trying to do is find stability. Stability, happiness, excitement, celebration. Not only stable relationships, friendships, people in the home, people in your family, but it also feels like you need to do some of that for you, which is the Four of Swords, which is stability of the mind. I need to meditate a little more. It helps me make clearer decisions. It calms the mind. I feel like the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Swords are telling me that your mind is constantly running, always running here. Tell me about this Seven of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Because I feel like the reason that you do keep to yourself, or you do keep these walls up, I'm going to say, keep the armor on, is because you don't want people to see how really, truly, and deeply emotional you are. We do have the Three of Pentacles. I think we're talking about friendships. We're probably talking about cooperative groups of people, networks, community people that you work with. I feel like you keep the stone face on here. I feel like you keep the lawyer's face on, the justice face. It feels like you just stay in balance. Keep your balance, Gemini. I feel like is when you're around other people, I feel like you're the person that everyone else can rely on. So you could be someone who is an Empress, whether you're feminine or masculine. It's Libra and Taurus. Very grounded, highly intelligent, keep myself in balance. I feel like you allow other people to lean on you, but I feel like it's because your boundaries are high. But I also feel like if you let your boundaries go, that they would see a very different and overly emotional side of you that you're not willing to share at this time. I feel like you'd rather be the person who is solid, steady, sturdy, and grounded, the one who always is the problem solver. I feel like you don't want to be part of the problem. You want to be part of the solution. But that means sometimes that you're going to have to keep your armor on. Tell me about the Ten of Wands and the Moon energy here, because it does feel like you are sort of fighting yourself or beating yourself up about deep emotional things that you don't show other people. That maybe from the outside looking in, you look like the Empress. You got it all together. You look great on the outside. People feel like you're stable on the inside. You're the leader. People follow you. You're the one that's teaching people, allowing people to lean on you. And I feel like this is the energy that you're actually in, though. It does feel like with this Moon energy here that things are not as they seem. That yes, you look great on the outside and people can see that you're solid and grounded. But I feel like you are under a lot of emotional pressure and that you beat yourself up about some of that. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here. So it does feel like there is destiny involved here, that there's going to be some big changes and more decisions that you have to make. I feel like you're in a really big decision-making part of your life at this time. And I think some of those decisions that you're making are coming at you so fast that it's really hard for you to make decisions while you're still trying to wade through the energy of the Moon. You're trying to do it gracefully with the Empress here. You're trying to do what I feel like there's some trouble under the surface or something that you're dealing with that's very heavy, but it feels like you are trying to, the Empress is up to her hips here in water, right? So it feels like you are deep in some sort of emotional thing that you're going through right now. It feels like there is, with this Wheel of Fortune here, that something is about to change because you're going to be making a decision to move forward or decide to move forward here. We've got 10 more wands here, right? We got 8 and 2 is 10. It feels like you have to make a decision or take some action on something. And I think you've been kind of dragging your heels about that, not wanting to make that decision. Tell me what the 5 of Wands is here. Feels like you're trying to make a decision about something that you're going back and forth because it's very emotional for you, this decision. We've got the 9 of Swords, we've got the Death card, and we've got the Judgment card. So there is a really big life-changing type decision that's coming up here. And I feel like what you're trying to do is stay in this Four of Swords energy to get out of the Nine of Swords. The Death card is here. Transformation is here. Things are changing. Things are transforming. And you have to make some sort of really big life-changing decision. Or something is going on for you. A life change is going on for you. A really big life change that's taking you on a different trajectory in your life. This is something that feels like it's been dragging on forever, and it also feels like something you feel stuck in. I'm not really sure what I want to do at this time. The Tower is coming though, so if you decide not to move forward, or you can't, or you feel like you can't, to me the Tower in reverse on the bottom of the deck, this is future energy. You're about to deal with a Tower in the future. So I feel like there's just no way that you can fight the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune's not waiting for you to be ready, not waiting for you to be ready to get out of the deep, dark place that you're in at this time. I feel like things are changing, and you don't have any control over that, right? Accepting the things that you cannot change is really all that you can do. What I'm going to do, Gemini, is I'm going to put down some cards here on the top. We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about going into the extension. So I have been extending all these readings this week, and I've been putting the extensions in my membership area. If you're interested in doing that, going to see the extensions. We also do some lives over there. We do other things as well. There's some tarot classes going on over there. So if you're interested in any of that, please look in the pinned comment. There is a link to join if you'd like to do that. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We have the Five of Cups. Feels like you're going through some deep sadness, and something is changing in your life that's making you move on, and you're moving on grudgingly. You don't want to move on from whatever it is that's going on at this time. We do have the Nine of Cups. I promise you, if you decide to move, if you decide to accept the situation for what it is, that your deep sadness will turn into movement. You will begin to move away from this deep sadness, and depending on what is causing the deep sadness for you, the Nine of Cups is here. I feel like it eventually gets to a place where you go to this place of healing. So between the 5 and the 9 is the 4 cups, and that's the place of emotional stability. It's a place of healing. It's a place of the comfort zone, and I feel like you're going to pass through that with the 6 of Swords. Getting out of this chaotic place of deep sadness and moving over into the 9 of Cups, which is finding your inner happiness. One more card. We've got the Page of Cups. I think it's going to surprise you that there is a new path showing up here after the ending of something here. There's a chapter of your life that is ending, and it is making some sort of really big and deep impact emotionally for you. And I feel like it's time for you to be okay with the door closing. The acceptance here it's going to take time. Look, I'm not telling you to do this overnight. It's going to take time, but I think this full moon that we're having in Scorpio is going to help you with the purge of your emotional state. And I feel like once you close the door, or you finally come to this place that you realize you must move on or move forward, then the Ace of Wands is here. So we're going to talk about that as we move into the extended. If you'd like to go there, please look in the pinned comment. I'm going to go there and do the rest of this extended. Thank you so much, Gemini, for being here and for watching. I appreciate you. And do your surrender. Surrender to the universe. It's time for you to surrender to spirit, friend. You got to accept the things you cannot change. I'm going to go for now. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.